Hey, fight fans, look back to Carl Peruz MMA. My guest making his return on the show, also making his return to the cage, this time Tuff-N-Uff, big co-main event. Tuff-N-Uff 149, going for that strap over there, taking on Amarsanaa. He is the boss. He is Mr. Kenny Cross. Kenny, what's up, my friend? How are you?
God bless you. Thank you for having me, bro. Good to be back, and fight week's right around the corner, so I'm ecstatic.
Absolutely. This time, man, you get to go fight for a title, another title opportunity throughout your career. But this time you get to do it in one of the top regional promotions going on right now. When you got this opportunity, co-main event, big title fight, was that pretty exciting?
Yeah, I called for this guy. I needed to get active, and I wasn't sure who I was going to fight for, but Tuff-N-Uff, they have a really cool platform, and there's been a lot of fighters from Syndicate fighting there, so I could kind of see what I was getting into, and there was a lightweight with a belt, so I want to go on a tour of snatching belts before I get into the UFC, so it was perfect.
Your last time out, XFC, March, it was a long time ago now, but big win, first round, made quick work at Corbage. Overall, man, looking back at it, what did you make of the performance now?
It was too easy. It was, just a 3-2. I'm finding the timing and knowing that I still got it. I've been having year layoffs and jumping around from gym to gym, trying to figure out where I belong. There's a lot of outside factors and everything. I got into that car crash right before the fight. So getting in there and getting them out quick, I felt like just gave me a lot more confidence, and definitely happy with my performance.
From that point to now, man, what have we been doing in the off season? What have we been doing in camp? How have we been growing and evolving here?
Well, for one, I've been doing 5-round cage rounds, so it's my first time really preparing for a 5-round fight. I've had 2 world titles before this, but I didn't really do cage rounds, and I didn't have fresh bodies coming in. So the guys I've been working with and how I've been able to press through and get through these rounds and look good. It's my gas tank is higher than I thought it ever could be. I get to watch Marab, and him and I are the ones doing 5 rounds in the gym. So I'm just watching him, and I'm trying to grow, and I'm trying to just, be next to the best and do what they're doing. So I went off, I got my certification for a registered behavioral technician. So outside after fighting, I'm kind of accumulating some jobs because my wife and I want to start a gym down the road, and we want to have it be like a UFC PI where there's wings for all kinds of different needs. And I love teaching, and I love people with special needs. So it's nice to have that feather in my cap and be able to give back. I've been diving in deep with the Lord, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He's been giving me unbelievable strength, and it's something that's really cultivated my world and my life and my wife. The love in our house has really pushed me, and kind of just letting God take everything, and it relieves my stress. So started collecting Pokemon cards, some Lacana cards. I just got my first pack of Spider-Man cards. I've been, saving up and trying to invest for my kids down the road. So if they want to sell cards, Daddy's got a big inventory for you.
Absolutely, man. You mentioned training over at Syndicate MMA. You train with some absolute killers in that room, man. Obviously, Marab Divashvili, one of the best guys in the whole planet right now. But, in addition to that, you have Atari out there, Brandon Jenkins. You got Davey Grant out there. You got Minev out there. So many good up-and-coming guys in that facility. What's it like mixing up with those boys every day?
It just shows me that I'm in the right place at the right time. I get to test myself against really good fighters, and there's always it's always hard goes in the gym. Nothing's ever easy. So knowing that I can go through and level up, and these guys have my back, and I'm not just training with kids off the street, even though, sometimes it's nice to go and roll with some white belts. But, I got the Shapiro brothers teaching me jiu-jitsu, and this is my first time in my career that I actually go to a jiu-jitsu class. And I always chant deep half, because they be teaching deep half, and there's just so much more to this world now that I'm doing jiu-jitsu. But yeah, man, I can't complain. I'm really happy with all my training partners. They give me everything they got, And, it's been 6 months of training, no injuries, just growth.
Absolutely. You're at a point right now, you seem very confident out there. You're very locked in. You're very calm. You're very relaxed. Has that always come natural for you?
Not really. When I was younger, it did, but when I started MMA, I didn't know what I was doing. I was faking it until I make it. And to an extent, I feel like I'm still doing that. I want to get into the UFC, and like Touchy Feely was talking about in his last UFC interview, there's a voice that says you've convinced all these people that you can fight when you really can't, and then there's a voice that tells you you're a dog, and it's about turning the volume down on one and turning the volume up on the other. And this has just really helped me really turn the volume up and just know that I'm a dog, and to bring that out and go capitalize on these opportunities and show the world that I can do this. And I'm 31 years old. I want to fight till I'm like 40. I feel amazing. I'm only getting better. And, God forbid I have any injuries and everything goes smoothly. I think that I'm just kind of getting to my prime, and, I'm in the right place. So I'm excited.
You're one of those guys now, 16-4. You go out there, you have exciting fights, you have a bunch of big, nice finishes. My opinion, man, you're really I think one of the best guys on the regional scene to not be signed to the UFC. And to me, it's kind of hard to believe it hasn't happened for you yet. Is this something that crosses your mind a little bit? I mean, is there frustration here? Are you just thinking, when the time's right, it's going to happen?
I give it to God, man. I know that he's got this path laid out for me, and it's not my will, it's his, and it's his time. Don't go before God. There's a lot of things that he's building in me, so I'm able to, once I get to that level, I'm able to control what comes with it, and I'm able to handle myself and do what I'm really, my purpose on this life, really to walk in my purpose, which is really not even mine, it's his purpose. So, it excites me that he's prolonging, my dreams, and he's making me continue to fight and to keep my head held high, because with that comes really great rewards. And when I finally make it, it's like, thank you, God, and the skills that are going to come with it, and my discipline and my mindset, and knowing where to give the credit to, all that comes with the patience and grinding it out, and having faith, and staying strong. So I'm so proud of the man that I'm becoming, and it's all thanks to God.
So many people are watching the sport in this day and age. Obviously, UFC almost every single weekend now. PFL, Bellator, bare knuckle, all these different things, karate, combat. Very few people understand, I think, what it really is like to be a fighter. I think for the most part, people see you guys are trained, trying to get in the UFC, trying to win fights, get bigger fights, belts, all that stuff. But to me, a lot of people don't understand the fight outside of the fight. And to me, that's that fight not to have the clock in at 9 o'clock in the morning, clock out at 5 o'clock. That's that fight to secure financial freedom. That's that fight to live life on your terms. Don't follow society. Do what you want in this world and get the most out of it. Has that been a big part of your journey, sir?
Yeah, definitely. I did a lot of jobs growing up. And even with fighting, not having the money that comes with fighting, you get, where I am, and you have all these records and people know you, and you still don't have the financial freedom. It is a toll, and it's scary. But thankfully, with God, he supplied me with an amazing wife, and she takes a lot of that pressure off of me, which also pushes me to make the most of every day and train. And I have a good attitude in the gym. I have a good attitude when I wake up, and I bring that attitude with me after practice, and I fuel up and I get back in there. And, I make a coward of myself when I'm at practice. I try not to take it easy. I want to get tired in there, and, the financial freedom is going to come soon. And, yeah, man, it's a blessing. I don't want to have a boss. I am the boss. I want to create my own life and do things my way, because society is weird, I feel like. And it's not, I'm an outsider. I'm trying to formulate this plan and bring it to fruition. And, right now I couldn't be more excited. It's, don't make a mistake. Don't step off the path. And a lot of pressure comes with it, a lot of danger. And, you make it through 6 months of training. People say the hard work's over, but in my mind, it's all hard work. It's all physically, mentally hard. Like the weight cut's coming up now, and I'm the best at cutting weight, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And then when the lights come on, some people shy away from being great. They turn the volume up on the wrong side. And that takes a lot of confidence and a lot of God and a lot of training and a lot of doing what you were supposed to do day in and day out. And it's all hard work. But at the end of the day, you put a good stamp on the work that you've done and you move forward and you can lean on that. And that's what I've been doing.
Do you feel that fighting is more mental than it is physical?
A lot of it's mental. You gotta be able to be physical to get through it all. But yeah, if your mind isn't strong and you're doing things and it's not strengthening you but weakening you, you're gonna get to the end of your road and that window's really small. So, being 25 and winning that Contender Series fight, I had a different mindset. I wasn't as physically strong. I felt really confident, but I ended up tearing my Achilles, and that kind of got me to break myself down and build back up from the ground up. And this time I've been putting them bricks, stacking them, and making sure everything's flush before I go on to the next project. So you got to have that mind. You got to have the strong will set, and there's a lot of things that can contribute to that.
Absolutely. That Contender Series fight for you, obviously such a big opportunity. A guy at the time, undefeated, top prospect. Where were you when you got the call that you were going to be fighting on the Contender? You remember it?
The first time I was in the gym and or maybe just left the gym, and Darren Cruikshank, my old coach, hit me up like, "Yo, Sean Shelby just messaged me. We got Contender Series," and I was like, "Sweet." We made weight, and he got COVID, and I went home. And this is where not having Iridium, I had my best friend Liam, and we'd never fought for the UFC before, so we didn't know they were going to call us back, in a week and give us another opportunity. So when I got that call, I was on a yacht partying, and it's like, oh, now I got to go cut weight. So again, doing the right things day in and day out will keep you on the right path for when these opportunities present themselves.
Absolutely. So you're getting ready here, going into battle next week, October 25th, taking on Amarsanaa. Overall, what do you think of him as an opponent here?
Well-rounded. He has some good striking, likes to kick. He's a pretty big guy, and he likes to spin. I love that because I like to spin, and let's see if he can hit me with anything. I see where I can take advantage in this fight, and I mean, it's basically everywhere. But he looks the part, so when I go out there and make him look less than he is, it's just going to make me look better.
Stylistically, do you like this one?
Yeah. I mean, you have to. You got to like every fight, because if you're ducking people and you're trying to match styles, you're going to end up running into a Marab. You're going to end up running into someone, and if you were just kind of padding your record and playing it safe, it's going to catch up to you. So I like everybody's style. It's how hard were you working? What gifts did God give you? And can you put it all together when the time comes?
This one really excited me when I saw that they're going to do this. Watch both you guys' highlights and everything, and you just see it's pure entertainment when both of you guys are out there. There's a lot going forward, not a lot going backwards, a lot of trickery there, a lot of nice shots, finishes on both sides. Going into this one, could you see a world where this is an absolute 5-round war?
Yeah. I mean, I thought my last fight could have been 3 rounds. That's why I'm training for 5 rounds. I'm preparing for 5 rounds, and the training should be harder than the fight. And when I put those 4-ounce gloves on, man, I'm powerful. I'm really strong in those gloves, and a lot of people can't take my shots. So the night could be early, but I'm prepared for all 5.
Absolutely, man. For you, what would it mean to be able to fight at that next level?
Man, I want my rookie card so bad. I want to set a bounty out and get my rookie card and have that debut patch and those shorts. Like, that's my big goal. Right now, it's not to be a UFC champ, but just to have those things that, like, for me internally, and I know, like, I don't idolize it, but just to have it for my kids down the road, just knowing that it's not about how you start, but it's how you finish. And that's been one of the most challenging things throughout life, is starting things and not finishing them. So this will be my first time, I feel like, that I really went through and followed through with what I set out to do, and make it to the UFC is exactly that.
One thing right now, when you're looking at you have very nice beard here, sir. This is coming in very, very nice. Over the years, we've seen other guys with nice beards in mixed martial arts. If you had to do a Mount Rushmore of guys with beards who have competed in combat sports, 4 of them, who are we picking? Who's on this?
Mm, who's that? The what's the big fat guy's name with the big belly? He's always right.
Roy Nelson.
I love Roy Nelson's beard. You know, he's got a great mullet as well, so that probably gives him extra. You know, I like Connor's beard, the way it made his chin look strong. You know, I like it. I like it when they look like they got a good strong chin, and it can kind of hide it as well. You know, Ilya Taporia's got a fine beard. He doesn't grow it out, but it looks nice. Um, let's see. I don't know. Who else got some good ones?
You got Brian Barberena. Remember him? I believe 170. I want to say he's either 170 or 185, but he has a really nice.
Oh yeah. He's a dog. The guy that just walks through punches. Yeah, he's got a good one.
Arlovsky back in the day.
Yup. He's got a good one. Yeah, there's not too many that have real good ones, I feel like, honestly.
No, I think you guys are in a class of your own. But, you know, you're a type of dude, man. You have a great personality. You're a very funny, happy, energetic guy. You go out there and you put on a show every time. You really feel like if you aren't already going to cement yourself as one of those fan favorite type of guys where everyone's going to watch you fight.
That's one of my biggest fears, and one of my big goals is to be exciting for the fans, because I know when times get hard, my style can't. When I fought in Contender Series in front of the whole world, I showed the most boring side of myself, and I wasn't prepared for the fight. So preparation allows me to go out there and be myself and be free. And I like to do stylish moves, and that's what kind of gets me into the sport, is Superman punches and cool sweeps and flying knees and spinning kicks and all that kind of stuff. So I really want to give the crowd a show, and I want people to talk about how great I was, and how, even if I wasn't the best, like how fun I was to watch when they talk to my kids, my future kids. Like I'm building for that, so that I have that legacy down the road. And Khabib built his legacy off of being boring, and you can get to the point where it's like masterful to watch, even if it's not people's favorite, because he converted me. Merab wasn't my favorite fighter. Now he's one of my favorites. Like, obviously I got to know him and everything, which adds some perks, but I want people to really sit down and dial in when I'm out there. Helps with the promoters as well. Like, you get more opportunities.
Absolutely. In this day and age, one thing, entertainment, personality is such a big thing. So many people are watching it. We have a term now called the casual fan. I think all fans are good, but sometimes you're at B-dubs, you're at the fight, you might hear twist them, and you read this stuff, you see this stuff. As a fighter, do you try to get a laugh out of this stuff? Do you enjoy it?
I didn't like it, honestly, just because they talk so much mess, and they can't fight themselves. They just hate on you like crazy. But Vato, Merab's camera guy and best friend, he gave me some UFC passes that I went with Jack Gold, and we went to that press conference, and there was so much crap talk, and everyone's just harassing all the fighters, like, except for Merab. And then I kind of got it, because they were making me laugh. It was like making me feel at ease, and I was like, oh my God, like, when you're not so serious, you can talk a lot more crap, but when you really get into it, it's so serious. Excuse me. and it kind of alters your mind to where that you're not free to talk all that crap, because what goes into it. But I kind of have some more respect now that I went to that event, because it's an art in itself, all the crap talk. And if you can kind of just flow with it and know that they don't really know what they're talking about, they're saying stuff to make the girl in front of them laugh. Like, I can understand that. I can get behind that. I don't want to be that, but it does make the sport gain more attention, and that's ultimately the goal.
Absolutely. It's kind of crazy, man. 16-4. You haven't made the UFC yet, but you've done more than probably what 99% of people do when they set out to live this life. Been on the Contender Series, obviously fought some huge promotions, multiple time champion, top prospect here on the regional scene. Is it crazy? Obviously, you maybe not have achieved the goal quite yet, but is it crazy to see the journey?
Looking back, it's like that saying when you're on the beach and you start swimming out in the ocean, and by the time you look back, you're like, the beach is so far away, and you're like, how did I get out here? Because it's every day grinding and doing the right things. So now I feel like I'm out there in the middle of the ocean, and it's not too hard for me to swim to the other side. So yeah, I'm like, good job, bro. Like you did it. And there's some friends that told me to retire that I thought were friends. If he doesn't win this fight, he should quit. And it's just like, you got to do this for you. You got to keep going. Again, it's how you finish, and have that belief, have that mindset. So yeah, this is, I'm happy with what I've done, but I'm not satisfied yet. Everyone's their biggest critic, and it hurts my heart sometimes because it's like, dog, you just won a UFC fight. Hold your head up. Like, you didn't finish him, but like, you did good, man. And I know you're proud of yourself deep down. So like, let that show. I know we want to do better, and we can do that next time. But like, you just won, like, chin up. So that's where I'm at right now. I've done great. I got a long road ahead of me, and the growth that's going to come with it and the tools that I'm going to be able to carry after fighting is really exciting. And that's why I push forward.
Absolutely. All right, Kenny, last question for you, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome October 25th when you fight in Tuff-N-Uff 149 in the co-main event for that 155-pound title against Amarsanaa?
Perfect world is there's a big crowd there. There's bright lights, hopefully Sean Shelby and some big names in attendance. And I go out there and I finish this guy in the first round. No injuries to either of us. I get that belt. I get to go out and celebrate with my dad and my brother and my wife and everyone that's coming out, my sponsors. And we can kind of just look back and be like, wow, we did it again. That's every time. It's like, go out there, do your best, hopefully get the finish, look good doing it, and get some big calls.
Absolutely, man. If there's any sort of rails when you make the entrance, you're going to slide down again? Could we expect a good entrance coming here?
Yeah, if there's any rails, I'm always going to slide down rails. But I don't know if they'll have them. I was only blessed the last 3 fights to have those rails, or the last 2. But yeah, man, as a kid, the kid comes out in me. Like, I'm not walking down these stairs. I might do a cartwheel, like, depending on how big the ramp is. I got a cool shirt to wear out. I might rip it like Hulk Hogan, whatever comes to me in the moment. Like, I'm going to have a little bit of fun before I get in there for sure. I got a good walkout song too. It's a Christian song, so a lot of people won't know it, but we got to give glory where it belongs. So it's going to be a good night of glorifying Jesus and lifting his name up. So it starts with the walkout, and it's going to end after the fight. And man, I'm just so blessed for this opportunity. And here we go again.
Absolutely, man. Well, Kenny, man, thank you so much. Get back to your pickleball. Hope you have fun. Go win tonight. And excited to see you fight, brother.
Thank you, man. It's good to talk to you again.
Absolutely. That's it for us today. Carl Peruzzi. He is the boss. He is Mr. Kenny Cross. Watch him toughen up 149. Co-main event going for that 155-pound title against Amarsanaa. Take care, fight fans.